Settle into a seat. We'd like to go ahead and begin our program today. Wow, thanks. Good morning. Thank you all for joining us in the celebration of the opening of the San Jose Environmental Innovation Center. I'm Carrie Romanow, Director of Environmental Services for the City of San Jose. I'm joined today by Kim Wallace, San Jose's Director of everything's environment, of Economic Development. Our journey to today began in 2006 when the Environmental Services Department purchased this property and this building. At the time, the building was a worn-out 1950s era, you might say decrepit building that was used to manufacture wax paper. I think we've come a long way to today. I think it looks great. The San Jose Environmental Innovation Center promises economic and environmental benefits to the city of San Jose and beyond. For the environment, the Habitat Restore provides the opportunity to reduce the materials sent to our landfill and preserve natural resources that would otherwise be used to create new product. The Household Hazardous Waste Facility provides the opportunity to reduce toxins and other materials that might enter our waterways and our landfills. Prospect SV, Silicon Valley, provides economic and environmental benefits to our city by helping create the opportunity for innovators to bring their technology to market and reduce the environmental impact of our future. With that, I'll turn it over to Kim.
Great. Thanks, Carrie. Great. Thanks. As Carrie said, this is a great double bottom line project. It is all about benefiting our environment and our economy. From the economic perspective, though, the Prospect Silicon Valley as our new nonprofit partner and the Clean Tech Demonstration Center, they're going to help us continue our leadership role in clean tech innovation. So we're going to have new companies, new products, and new jobs that are going to flow from this center. The Habitat for Humanity Restore is also going to have terrific economic benefits. Residents can purchase affordable, high-quality home improvement goods, and the best part is the proceeds from the sales there are going to go to support affordable housing in our community. And then there's an economic benefit to the Household Hazardous Waste Facility, and it's really the benefit of cost avoidance. By keeping toxins out of the environment, we're going to reduce potential health costs and the high costs associated with environmental cleanup. So when you think of this place, it's about environmental and economic solutions and benefits for all of us.
Thanks, Kim. We'd also like to thank Mayor Reed and the City Council, past and current city managers, for their support for this project and its innovative aspects. At this time, I'll invite Mayor Reed to speak.
Thank you, Carrie. Good morning, everybody. Well, let's start this out by making a donation to Habitat for Humanity for the Restore. You all remember the old song, If I Had a Hammer. Well, if I had a hammer, I would donate it to Habitat for Humanity. It just so happens, I think I've got a hammer. Okay, now that hammer is going to go on sale in there, and it's going to be cheap. But it's going to get lots of reuse. That's the whole point of being able to repurpose and reuse building materials in a way that's affordable to the public and provides money for affordable housing. All good, all the way around. Win, win, win. And we're very pleased to have Habitat for Humanity occupying part of this building. But I want to talk about sort of the bigger project. This was a big project, a complicated project. We were the first city in California to get new market tax credits into a project. We're pleased and happy to have $4.5 million of funding through that federal government source. And that made it possible for us to do this building and do a lot of the environmental innovations in the building. But I want to thank and commend our board of directors for a nonprofit that had to be created in the middle of this. As I said, it was complicated because the federal government made the rules, and they do complicate things. So we have some of those board members with us here today. If you could stand up, Judy Churko, Kristen Clements, Dan Lopez, Tom McCrosty, Giovanni Yaraputu, and Matt Morley, board members for the nonprofit entity. And it's got a really complicated name that I'm not going to repeat, but they're good people doing work for us. We appreciate that. And we also have another nonprofit group, this Prospect Silicon Valley, that's moving into the building. That'll be part of our green vision to become the world center of clean tech innovation. And doing a demonstration and commercialization of clean technologies is an important part of that. And as you know, this whole project is part of our green vision, which is our roadmap to being the clean tech innovation center of the world. We need to reduce waste. In fact, we want to be a zero waste city. So that's part of it. And we also want to promote and encourage the creation of clean tech jobs. We have a goal of 25,000 clean tech jobs. We're over 10,000, so we got a few more to go. And the Prospect Silicon Valley Board are going to help us with that. I'd like to introduce them. Some of them are here, I know. Gordon Ho of Cooley Goddard, Rich Hutchinson of City Car Share, Michael Wu of Singer Lewack, Vijay Samita, and Kim Wallace. Kim's here, I can see her. Thank you all for being part of that board. And I want to thank the governor of the state of California and his GoBiz operations. We do have some representatives here from that office, and that would be Kish Rajan, director of GoBiz. And not just on this project, his governor's office been helpful, but I just got a little side note here, a really big project. This is a small project, relatively speaking, compared to the Samsung project that if you drive up North First Street, you'll see twin cranes on twin towers going up that Samsung is investing hundreds of millions of dollars in San Jose. That would not have happened without the help from the governor, the governor's office, and GoBiz in particular. They were instrumental in making that happen. We appreciate that. And before I turn it over to Kish, I want to just recognize Dan Lopez, who's the chair. Where'd Dan go? Dan's back here as well. We appreciate that. And I'm going to introduce Dan's going to go first, then I'll get to Kish. Okay, Dan Lopez, Chairman of.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, welcome to our center. And I guess I just want to say that it's another great example of the new market tax credits. New market tax credits was created about 10 years ago, and in the past 10 years, the program has invested $31 billion nationally, which has created about 550,000 jobs. So, to see that money come here to San Jose and result in this great center, I think is really an absolute great feat. I also wanted to acknowledge our investors, who are a very important part of this public-private partnership. They are Brownfield Revitalization, National Development Council, Chase, and Northern California Community Loan Fund, and I think the loan fund people are right here. So thank you very much. Also, I wanted to recognize a key person that if we had an executive director, she would be the executive director. She works for the city, but we borrow her a lot, and she's really kept us in line. Nora Sibri. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan, and the board. I also want to note that we got support, another level of support from the federal government. The Department of Commerce Economic Development Administration, we have a $2.3 million grant in support of the Environmental Innovation Center. So we put a lot of pieces together to do this project, and it wasn't easy. And I want to acknowledge that it wouldn't have happened without the support of the San Jose City Council. Some of my council colleagues are here. Some of them may speak. I don't really know. I'm sure they'd all love to speak. Fortunately, there's only 4 here, so not all 10 are here to speak. But the ones that are here, Sam Licardo, Johnny Camus, Javier Campos, Madison Nguyen, a former council member and Board of Supervisor member Cindy Chavez. And with that, I'm going to turn over to Kish Rajan, Director of GoBiz.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Well, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to be here, another glorious day in California, and what a great occasion. This is a wonderful achievement, so I really want to commend the mayor and the council members and the staff that have done an outstanding job. I understand that not that long ago, this was a rather dilapidated old warehouse that has been beautifully transformed into something that's going to have a major impact on the economy of San Jose, of the region, and of the state. California's economy is driven by innovation, and San Jose continues to be the heart of innovation in California, and we're very grateful for that. And in particular, the type of clean technology innovations that will come out of this beautiful space are critically important to California's future and to the world's future. And I don't mean to exaggerate that. We know that Governor Brown is committed for California to be a global leader on dealing with climate change. And the way that we will do that is by harnessing the incredible power of innovation that exists in this region to develop the kinds of technologies, amazing technologies that are already on display inside the building, and many more that will follow. So we'll have a huge impact on the global climate change condition through the products and technologies and services that will continue to come out of San Jose, and that's fantastic from a climate perspective. But also from a business perspective. I lead the Office of Business and Economic Development, and every day we're trying to think, what is it going to take to continue to accelerate and move California's economy forward? There's no question, but by the efforts that are on display here, this is the kind of capacity that will drive California's economy and job creation and the resources that we need going forward. They will emanate from wonderful examples like this. So I want to say thank you for all that you're doing. Congratulations, and let's go make it happen. Thanks very much.
Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Vice Mayor Madison Nguyen.
Good morning. Well, I think I have the best part because I get to thank all the people who actually made this project happen. And so I actually have a list here. On behalf of the city, of course, I'd like to first acknowledge and thank our tenants and partners, Doug Davenport, his team, and his generous sponsors for bringing Prospect Silicon Valley to life. Janice Jansen of Habitat for Humanity East Bay Silicon Valley, and her team for bringing a restore to Central San Jose. And of course the County Board of Supervisors. We have Supervisor Cindy Chavez, who's here with us, Amy Brown and Rob Darcy of the County of Santa Clara Department of Agriculture and the Environment. And we're very excited and pleased to partner with you on this much needed San Jose household hazardous waste facility. And we appreciate all the hard work that has gone to make this happen. To all the partners, we appreciate the time and the work you put into our respective service, and we look forward to your continuing success here at the Environmental Innovation Center for many years to come. We should also acknowledge the work and talent of Group 4 architects for the aesthetic facility, for preserving its historical features as well as designing its many interesting sustainable features. And of course, thank you to the city's Public Arts Committee and public artist Peter Richards for collaborating with the project team and architect for the sustainable water feature of our facility right there. I was wondering what that was. I also want to acknowledge the interdepartmental work that took place between Carrie Romanow's team in the Environmental Services, Kim Wallich's team in the Office of Economic Development, and of course, David SJEIC's team in Public Works Department. We truly appreciate all the work that have gone into making this project happen, and that's why we're here today. And we all know that creative collaboration can make great projects happen, and we can definitely see here at this Innovation Center. So on behalf of the city, once again, thank you. And at this time, I'd like to introduce one of my colleagues, Councilmember Sam Liccardo, who is the chair of the Transportation and Environmental Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Well, good morning. I'm the next speaker in your speed dating round of speakers. My name's Sam Liccardo. It's my great honor to be here. Welcome to the eastern corner of my district here, District 3. And when I first came here about a decade ago, I was actually visiting what was then a family shelter just about a block away here. This was, in the words of the executive director of that family shelter, the middle of nowhere. And this was a neighborhood, of course, of warehouses and industrial buildings. And today, a decade later, this is a neighborhood of warehouses and industrial buildings. But we're very much in the middle of somewhere. We're on the front porch of a future BART station that's now under construction. We are in the middle of what is going to be the future for this city. The renovation of an old industrial building into a place that will spur innovation for years to come, and the most important kind of innovation, because as we all know, as we see in recent reports, the challenges of climate change are upon us as they never have been. And the demands for innovation are greater than they ever have been. And I'm so grateful for the leadership of so many people from the private sector, from the public sector, to come together to make all of this happen. And so it's my great honor to introduce the executive director of Prospect Silicon Valley, who is just sitting here, who's now behind me, Doug Davenport. We look forward to working with Doug for many years to come to make this an extraordinary success for our city and for our valley.
Is this exciting or what? Can you feel the energy? Isn't this amazing? It's great. I love it. Thank you. So I'm going to start by telling you a little story. I'm Doug Davenport, Executive Director of Prospect Silicon Valley. I first heard about what you see behind you when it was an idea. Remember this? Years ago, this was an idea, and there was a lot of hard-fought battles to get where we are today, to have this place built, to have companies like Habitat for Humanity and Prospect Silicon Valley here to make a difference. And I can tell you that, over those years, I was, always talking to the city. I was with Berkeley Lab at the time, and I was saying, oh, this has got so much potential. There's so many ways that you can use this. And, oh, you ought to think of this, and you ought to think of that. And I like to say I gave them such a hard time. They said, would you just do it? So here we are, and I'm very excited about that. But I can tell you another chapter of that story happened last night when we were moving companies in to exhibit today's. And these are companies that are going to eventually be working with us here at the demonstration center that you see to your right. And you'll get to know them because you can come and see they've got exhibits today. And you can feel the energy and the passion that they have for their technology and for their company. And it's not just their go-to-market strategy. It's not just to become the next Nest and go buy an island somewhere in the Caymans. This is about trying to change the world. And the thing that we all have in common, me, my staff, our partners, these companies, is that we truly think that we can all get together and we can make a big difference. So it's our responsibility to turn this space that has tremendous potential into a team and an environment that has true impact. And that's what we're going to do. So with that, I'm going to acknowledge some people I'd like to make sure get some big clapping, hand-waving attention. Number one, my staff, Tim, Michael, raise your hands, please. Ray, our partners, and there's so many of you, I can't name you all, but thank you so much for everything you're doing. Also, I'd like to acknowledge our founding sponsors. These are visionary companies that believe in what we're doing. Cisco, Applied Materials, Wells Fargo, Continental, BMW, Toyota. We've got just absolutely amazing companies that are collaborating with us today, and we're going to be doing incredible things in the future. Thank you so much. And at this point, I'm going to bring to the stage, if we have her ready, Ms. Janice Jensen, our neighbor with Restore. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, that was pathetic. Good morning, everyone. Now that sounds like a Habitat crowd. We get excited. Thank you so much, Doug, and I'm really excited to be your neighbor here. This is going to be a lot of fun for all of us and a great way for us to collaborate and serve our community. This has been a day that we've all been collectively working toward for many, many years. I'd like to thank Mayor Reed, the City Council, and staff for your tenacity and to hang in there. And it's been a long road, but we're here today, and that's exciting. I also want to, from Habitat's side, I'd like to acknowledge some of our early adopters of this idea and champions from the very beginning. And that would include Jennifer Simmons, and I think I saw Jennifer over there, and John Nadler, who is also our vice chair of our board, and John Colburn, who will be managing this store once it opens tomorrow. So come back tomorrow and bring money. Shop, shop, shop. They were visionaries with this. They had an idea with the city, and they've helped us carry this all the way through to fruition. We also have a lot of staff members and board members here today. So if you can raise your hands, stand up, I'd like to give you a shout out, because Habitat wouldn't do what we do without all of you. And I also want to thank our many volunteers and our donors who help make this possible, including legacy partners who, along with their subcontractors, have donated so much pro bono to us for opening this restore. It's too much to count. So thank you, Legacy. And then we have so many Habitat volunteers who help to come out and make it all pretty. And I think this morning they were dusting toilets and making it all shiny and new for all of you to come in and go shopping. And finally, I want to acknowledge and thank our Director of Retail Services, Frank Atkins, wherever you are, Frank. I know you're here somewhere. And he has really led this to fruition for the last 2 years. So it's an amazing team. And Habitat, as you know, is all about partnerships. And I think we're founding a new partnership this morning that I just have to brag about because I'm so excited. Now, I am an HGTV junkie. Anybody else here fall into that category? Well, we have a couple of HGTV celebrities here from Flip It to Win It, Michael and Todd. And we're trying to work with them, and they work in the Valley. And if you've never seen their show, you've got to watch it. It's awesome. But we're working on a partnership with them to take the donated materials and sell them out of Restore. So thank you both for being here this morning and for helping Habitat. We appreciate it very much. I've heard many times that donating to Restore is actually donating with a purpose, and I think that's really very true. Restore is chock full of great stuff, brand new, never used, and some gently used building materials, furniture, doors, windows, vanities, you name it, it's right behind us. Instead of tossing your used items, why not donate them? And there's a huge benefit to this. Not only do you get the tax write-off for this donation, because Habitat is a 501c3, as is Restore, and then we're able to resell that, and then when we take the profits of that and we build more Habitat homes for low-income people in our community who need housing. And if that weren't good enough, because it is, but there's even more, there's an eco-benefit to all of this. By doing this collectively, we divert thousands of tons of waste from our landfills every year. So I think when you look at a quadruple bottom line, that's pretty impressive. So we need you guys to engage with this store, bring your friends, shout it from the rooftops. We've got a lot to do here, and we really want to make this store the preeminent store in the U.S. And I'm telling you, Mayor Reed gave me a hammer a little while ago. I'm going to have him sign that thing, and then the cost is going to go up. We want to sell that, baby. So this is Habitat's third Restore in the area. Generally, you'll find items in the Restore about 50 to 75% discounted from retail. And that's a great deal for you. And the money you spend, of course, as I said, shopping, will go into helping Habitat build more homes. And then, as I mentioned, there's this eco-benefit. Last year alone, we diverted over 2,500 tons of waste from our landfills. With this new store, just this year, we expect that to rise to over 3,500 tons. That, I think, in of itself, is a really amazing goal that benefits all of us. So, once again, thank you so much for having Habitat as part of this project. It's our real honor to be part of this. And remember to shop Restore, donate to Restore, and help Habitat build more affordable housing for the members of our community who need it the most. Thank you so much. And now it's my honor to introduce District 2 County Supervisor Cindy Chavez, who's somewhere.
This is such an exciting, more exciting than I anticipated day. I am here on behalf of the county, and I wanted to just acknowledge the incredible leadership of the city of San Jose. There were so many moving parts to this that any one of them could have collapsed, and people just hung in with it. The council members, the mayor, the staff. And I just want to say thank you, because sometimes a good idea stays on a shelf on a plan because no one has the energy to make it happen. Years and years ago, when I was much younger, I I hear the laughing. I was at a meeting when this was CTC, and there was some students who were talking about what could happen with these warehouses. And one of their ideas was that they had been doing surveys for us, I think as part of the Strong Neighborhood Initiative, or maybe Communiversity at the time, looking at all of the old houses we had in the area and marveling at things being taken down and maybe not being reused, and saying, why doesn't the city open up a little one of your warehouses to allow people to come in and get old materials? And I don't know if Diana Salazar is here, but if she is, she's from San Jose State's Urban Planning Department, and give them a round of applause, because this was a bunch of kids telling us, hey, you have resources, don't ruin the planet for me and my children. And they said it more positively than I just did. Now, second, on the county's excited about the household hazardous waste facility and having a regular place that people can drop off waste with regular days and times. We're very excited that the City of San Jose has asked us to participate in this. We think it's also a way to bring customers from all over the county to get to see the store, get to see what's here, and really start to think more, not just creatively, but more practically about what we can do to help the environment in our community. A third of all the hazardous waste that the county collects each year comes from the City of San Jose. And what we're hoping is, we have mobile sites in Sunnyvale and San Martin, but what we're hoping is with a permanent site, we're going to see that number increase, and more people are going to know there's a safe way to dispose of those products without negatively impacting the earth and the water and the air. So, to the City of San Jose and everybody involved, and to Diana Salazar and those really brainy, bold kids who didn't know what couldn't happen, congratulations. I'd like a drum roll for Councilmember Kansen Chu.
I didn't hear the drum roll, but it's my turn to address all of you. I'm really grateful to be here this morning. And on top of the environmental, we have all thanked Karen Romamo, but I also wanted to add our Public Works folks. Is anybody from Public Works here? Dave, thank you very much. I know it's been a challenge for our Public Works department. Let's give him a good round of applause. Yeah. And this new Environmental Innovation Center will offer many benefits for the residents here in San Jose, as you have probably heard from the previous speakers, including expanding our household hazardous waste collection capacity with a new facility in the Innovation Center. Over the last 7 years as your council member, I have hosted many curbside pickup for the household hazardous waste. So personally, I'm very thankful that we probably don't have to do it that many times in the District 4, which is really a stone's throw away from where we are today. Household hazardous waste can have many costs. The risk of accidental poisoning to children is very real when hazardous products or medicines are left within reach. Study shows that items not used within a year are likely not to be used and should be properly disposed. This new facility is conveniently located and will help our residents properly dispose of hazardous waste products and unwanted medicines. So thank you very much for coming to this wonderful ribbon cutting event. And now it's my pleasure to introduce my colleague, Councilmember Javier Campos. Javier, drum roll.
Morning. And sitting right here at eye level with the stage, I could see the heat waves coming off of the stage. So you're going to appreciate it. I will stick to my script and make this short. So it's been exciting to watch this project come to reality. And as a little advertisement, after the ribbon cutting, make sure you visit the home hazardous waste facility, because once this gets going, it will not be open to the public for tours or for viewing anymore. So take advantage of that so you can actually say, I saw it. I also want to get a chance to make sure you get a chance to see the exhibitors, the Prospect Silicon Valley Demonstration Center, and I hope that you all join me and other council members this morning exploring this new facility. So thank you very much, and I want to bring up Council Member Johnny Camis.
All right, you're going to get sick of all these speeches, but I just want to thank everybody for being part of this today. You've heard a lot about what the Environmental Services Innovation Center does, and we need to make it succeed. And one way to do that is to spread the word of mouth. When you see your neighbors remodeling their home, by the way, our building department is going to be streamlining the permitting process even more, and the cost of remodeling, the permits of the costs is coming down. So I'm hoping that happens real soon. We'll be introduced that soon. Make sure to tell those folks who are remodeling their home to come and buy from Restore. Restore is also a terrific place to donate their old windows and doors. So make an appointment at the new household hazardous waste facility to drop off old waste products that clutter your garage. And our businesses need to spread the word about the great entrepreneurs that reside right here in this center. So I'm hoping our business community stepped up to the plate and makes it part of their everyday vocabulary. Come visit the center. And I'm hoping all my council colleagues will join me in putting it in their newsletters on our websites. And I'm hoping all of you will Facebook and tweet out there and get as much social media attention as you can, because we need to make this center work. Thank you all for being here today. And I'd like to introduce one more, Ash Kalra, my colleague from District 2.
I think we've heard from pretty much the entire city council now. It's been like a city council meeting almost, except we don't have quite everyone here. And I have to admit that this is quite more inspirational than most of our meetings. The San Jose Environmental Innovation Center will soon be reviewed for LEED certification. And yes, and with the soon to be installed solar panels, we will have a net zero energy facility, and we can anticipate a platinum level certification for this facility. So that's really exciting for all of us. Every project has its bumps, and this project was no different. But truly, it's the results of the public investment that matters. Here, we have a showcase of environmental features that can inspire us to similarly consider and use environmental-friendly features in our homes and businesses. With current drought conditions and truly an ongoing need to be water-wise, it's wonderful to see a facility that is plumbed for using recycled water, is landscaped with drought-tolerant plants, and even the public art feature captures and reuses rainwater. Okay, it wasn't on cue. I was hoping the water would just flip at that moment. Anyway, I'm very excited to be here, and we have so many people on our team that have done a tremendous job. I'd like to introduce one of those many people here to explain more about the sustainable features of this project is Joe Zentak, Environmental Services Deputy Director. It was Joe's team that largely conceived of and managed the San Jose Environmental Innovation Center project. Joe?
Hi, thanks so much for being here. In a couple of minutes, you all will be let loose, and I hope you will take your map of outlining some of the sustainable features of this great facility, but I did want to highlight some of them for you, which you may not be able to see or be aware of. Behind you, underneath these grasses, is one of the first modular wetlands installations in Northern California. It's a system that actually scrubs the rainwater before it goes into the stormwater system. On our tower over here, we have emerging design wind turbines that not only work in very low wind, hopefully they'll turn on in a minute, but also bird-friendly and generate a lot of power. Both the wind turbines and the solar panels there connect and help power this building. We also have made use of smart technology currently on the building systems right now. In the two sides of the warehouses, you'll see a bunch of skylights. Those actually have tracking systems that follow the sun, so they take the maximum use of the sunlight as the day progresses. And then we also have, as is so important here in Santa Clara County, a smart landscape irrigation system that uses satellite technology to make sure it's only delivering the right amount of water to our drought-tolerant plants here. And then near and dear to my heart is the only installation of a composting toilet in an office building in California, one in the men's and one in the women's bathroom, using no water. So please take time to look at these features. And then I wanted to introduce Nicholas Adams, chair of the San Jose Public Art Committee, to talk to you about our art feature here at the site. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. I don't know if I've ever seen an audience at a dedication that is so incredibly tolerable of this many speakers. So give yourselves a round of applause. I'll be brief. Thanks for the introduction. As she said, I'm San Jose Arts Commissioner Nicholas Adams, and I'm here this morning in my capacity as chair of the Public Art Committee. I'd first like to thank the San Jose Office of Cultural Affairs, specifically Carrie Adams-Hapner, who's here this morning, and Jennifer Easton, our newly minted Director of Public Art. So thank you to OCA. You know, the San Jose Public Art Program is nationally recognized. It has been nationally recognized for creating a more connected culture here in San Jose for nearly 30 years. And the success of the projects and the program starts with the conversations between the artists of these specific projects and the community at large. And so we feel that not only will Watershed, this public art project here at this site, be or allow for a more connected community of San Jose, but allow for a more connected community here in this neighborhood as well. I'd also like to mention that we have the artist here among us this morning. For the San Jose Environmental Innovation Center, artist Peter Richards created Watershed. He's a Bay Area artist. Yes, give him a round of applause. Mr. Richards is standing in front of his public art piece in the hat. Thank you, Mr. Richards. Peter created this art piece that really embodies the values of this place. The artwork is built from recycled wood and steel and features collected rainwater that will irrigate the adjacent grove of beautiful olive trees that you see to my left. The artwork serves to remind us that wise use of resources is indeed a beautiful thing. And finally, I'd like to mention that the City of San Jose Public Art Program extends its deepest thanks to both Peter Richards and the Environmental Services Department for collaborating on such a terrific project. And in closing, please make sure to collect your very own information sheet on Watershed, which can be found under the blue awning to my left near the parking lot. The San Jose Arts Commission is incredibly proud of its partnership with the Office of Cultural Affairs and the San Jose City Council. The Arts Commission exists really as a voice between the public, the residents of the city of San Jose, and our elected officials. And so we're humbled and grateful to serve you in that capacity. Thank you.
Thank you. In the theme of this center, efficiency and resource conservation, in this case the resource is your time, we're 15 minutes ahead of schedule. So I have a couple more people I want to thank, and then I'm really hoping that you all can stay and look a little bit more closely at the many features we've been talking about. I wanted to recognize Dan Block from the Office of Councilmember Rose Herrera. Dan's here, thank you. Andre Quintero, the Office of Assemblymember Nora Campos. Leslie Villagas, Office of State Senator Monning. Thank you all for coming. I also wanted to recognize a couple of folks from our economic development team as well as a partner, Nancy Klein, Andy Constable, and Jim Robbins, one of our partners. Without their efforts, we certainly would have lost our mind. So thank you all, and it wouldn't be as good a project. I wanted to thank Jo Zintek and her team. Jo really spearheaded this project. Nora Cibrian, Anna Sabo, and Ed Ramirez. Thank you all. Harry Freitas, really from Public Works at the time, now our new planning director, was a formidable force in getting this project to fruition. So I really personally want to thank Harry. He's probably off doing some planning stuff. But thank you. And Rosa Songtacario from our attorney's office has been a lead in getting the New Market tax credit procedure done. As the mayor mentioned, it was the first one that our city has done. And then lastly, before I set you all free, I wanted to recognize and thank the Environmental Services Communication Team, Cheryl Wessling, Emily Kurth, and Jenny Loft, amongst the many others. And then really lastly, the folks from our city forest, Rhonda Berry and her team, for volunteering. They're our neighbors across the street. They volunteered their time to help make today be efficient and effective for you all. So with that, thank you. I hope this isn't your last visit here.
Right here. Wait.
You guys want me involved in this? Good morning,
We'll see how good it actually plays out.
We kind of know, yeah. We're see this.
I know.
Hey, how are you, Spotlight here.
All right, ready? All right. 1, 2, 3.
Hey,